I have Councilor Sani. I have Councilor Napolitano. I have Councilor Marchese. We have 3 members present. We do have a quorum.
Please stand and salute the flag.
That's,
We have a letter here from Councilor Steve Simonelli. He's unable to attend tonight. He had a little setback in his health, and hopefully he will have a speedy recovery. Please read first agenda.
All right, first piece of business, ordinance, offered by Councilor Sani to amend section 13-7 of the revised ordinance of the city of Everett, disturbing the peace.
Can we make a motion to invite the chief of police up? Councilors? Can we make a motion to invite the chief up? All in favor?
Hi.
Good evening, chief.
Good evening. How are you tonight?
Good. So I did have something drawn up, but it's not actually what we wanted. I realized after that, you asked to keep the previous, disturbing the peace in place and just add some wording. And apparently the wording, she took out the sound level meters completely out of it, but you want to keep that in there, I believe?
I'd keep it in. I mean, we don't use them as per our discussion. And I just wanted to make sure as well, I think as part of our last meeting, I was gonna get you some information on the disturbance calls that we did get over the summer. Did you get a copy of that information? You don't. Okay, I have it electronically. But, overall, the calls for service, this summer, I mean, in line with the population, the size of our city, it wasn't, anything that's, unmanageable between, disturbances in terms of like house parties and disturbances in terms of animal calls. We looked at everything, and it was a total of it's a little over 100 calls, that were in those categories, various disturbances. Most of those, again, house parties, and then animal complaints. And the animal complaints were far smaller. The summertime, we obviously get a spike. The spring, summertime, we get a spike in disturbances related to house calls. But there's nothing that's, that I saw that is unmanageable. And then with our new policy on dealing with house parties, for example, once we get a call, if a call comes in after midnight and we respond, the party's over. If we get a call before that, we'll go once. If we get a call back a second time and it's still before midnight, the party's over. So that's what we've been doing, and it has curtailed some of the activity. And on the positive note, a lot of people are registering, for example, block parties. People are going through the formal process of registering the parties. Those parties, we don't allow to run that late anyways when they register, but the fact that they're doing it as a neighborhood, and engaging their neighbors is important, when their neighbors know, or at least having a party with their neighbors is better than what we used to see.
Have we given out any tickets with these, any of these violations? Do you know?
I don't know the answer to that. I know we haven't done much on the sound meters.
Yeah.
As in terms of, I mean, on occasion, we'll make an arrest for disorderly,
Yeah.
disturbing the peace. Those are rare. I mean, we try to hold that back for the rare case that we can't get someone's attention to curtail the disturbance of party, et cetera. But they do take place on occasion.
Okay. Any questions from the councilors? No?
just one.
Councilor Marchese?
Steve, so it says from 6 PM to 7 AM. So, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here. So,
Counsel, I'm sorry, what are we talking about right
it
now?
says
Which issue?
that this is in, from 6 PM to 7 in the morning, that this can be enforced?
The disturbing the peace. Let me get you a
I don't have it
copy.
in front of me.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Because you just have the definition, excessive noise.
That's finished.
Council, just give me, can I have one moment just to read this quickly?
Yeah, just a section, I think, on the second page, 13-7.
That's the ordinance right now.
That's the ordinance right now?
Yes, and originally, I was looking to either add to that, but what happened was she ended up taking it out instead by mistake, which I didn't realize the chief wanted to keep that in there. So,
Oh, okay, those hours
so I
right
have to-
there.
Yeah, so the top page that we have, we're gonna have to revise that because, he requested to keep it in there, so,
Most of the disturbances that we're dealing with are not, the sound meters are good for, if you're out in the street and you have someone with an extremely loud exhaust, or something like that, or someone's parked with a stereo blaring. But those, when that happens, there's solutions to that are pretty quick. I mean, we respond, gotta shut it off, knock it off, or if it's equipment violations in a vehicle, they also can be cited for motor vehicle violations as well. But the sound meters are not good use to us for house parties.
Right.
Or even noise emanating, just, if you have 75 people in a house at 10 o'clock at nighttime, the sound meter doesn't really help us deal with that. And we have I feel comfortable, we have sufficient tools, to deal with them and put it, like I said, the policy's been working good on curtailing house parties, and, we just need to stay with that standard.
I just didn't wanna have something like, that someone went to court and used this against you and say, well, you didn't use the sound meter on them.
Sure.
And I just wanted to add to it, so this way it will give you also the discretion, whatever you feel without the meters. So that's the wording I need to put in there, but, I'm gonna refer it back, to sponsor tonight, and then Council Napolitano will introduce it in the beginning of the year, and, get the correct wording that we can put
Okay.
in, and if you have some wording that you wanna use, you can
Sure,
let us know.
I'll look this over in a little more detail as
Yeah,
well.
and then we'll,
Okay, okay.
so I'm gonna make a motion to refer it back to sponsor, and, thank you. So all in favor to refer back to sponsor?
Yes,
The ayes have it.
All right, thank you.
Item number 2?
Item number 2, this is a resolution up by Council Peter Napolitano and Mike Marchese. The awning ordinance be reviewed for amendments.
Napolitano?
Thank you. All right, so I've just recently given some information regarding Sound of Worcester. They've got some design guidelines. It's rather extensive, but I think it addresses my concerns, and it's something that I would like to have enough time to be able to digest and then resubmit with our first session, the first of the year. The conflict, the issues I had with it was that we had, for example, we've had a business come up here, a private business, and we got into a real tough issue with them about the colors. Yet at our last meeting, we blanketly went ahead and approved an orange awning for Little Caesars. Color distinction, it's all part of their marketing marketing scheme. And I think we need to be consistent whether we were dealing with a big corporation or we're dealing with a mom and pop that's just trying to make a living. And that's where I see the inconsistencies in our rules. So what I want to do is right now I just want to refer it back to sponsor, and I'll resubmit it the first of the year. We'll address what's in our rules, and we'll create a new ordinance.
Okay. So we have a motion to refer back to sponsor. Can we get a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Refer it back to sponsor. 3?
Item number 3, this order up by Council John Hamlin, accepting Master Law, Chapter 51, Section 16A, creating an election commission in the city of Everett.
Do we have the sponsor? Can we make a motion to invite?
To City Clerk Mike Matarazzo to the podium.
Thank you, Mike Matarazzo, City Clerk, actually very the same as Councilor Napolitano. We're gonna have it referred back to sponsor, reintroduce it next year. It's getting towards the end of the year. There's really not the time to do all the work on it at this point. All right, all the info that councilors wanted. It's oh, there you go. Already told her.
Motion to have Council John Hanlon come to the,
Thank you.
what do you call it, the curvy couch?
So that's,
Council Hanlon?
and council will introduce it next year.
Yeah, just as, if I may, just as an aside, when we were at the last meeting, we sort of spilled our guts on what we wanted for this. We really went over on it deep, and I wanted to know why it was held up and why we're back in committee. What were we missing? Why did it come back?
I'm not sure that it left committee.
Okay.
Yeah, I never left committee.
John, maybe you got something in your notes. I don't need it now, but, so when we present it the next time, we'll be able to answer that question, whatever it happens to be, okay? Because I don't know what it was. I thought we pretty well covered everything.
I have the committee reports, I'll get it, yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay,
Right, they wanted more info, I believe,
yeah,
yeah.
okay. Thank you.
So,
So refer
Council's-
back, motion to refer back to sponsor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Referring back to sponsor. Motion to adjourn?
Second. Aye.